Testing out the new mount that I used before for the different avionics. This is the first time I've used this mount since we've had all new panel. So I think with this mount you can see my airspeed, my old school attitude indicator. You got your backup CDI here, the dual G5s that we're using, altimeter, VSI. You can see my engine monitor pretty well. Looks like we'll be able to see all the other avionics pretty good from this particular vantage point. So I'll go over a couple of things for those of you who aren't pilots or maybe haven't looked at these kind of avionics before. We got the dual setup here. This is the Avidyne IFD 550. This is the IFD 540. They're both full-size Avcom, GPS, WAS boxes.
Line at 46 Tango, maintain a departure, radar contact, maintain VFR.
The only difference between the two, if you look closely, is there's 3 buttons across the bottom here and 4 there. The synthetic vision page. That's the only difference. The 550 has a built-in attitude reference system built into this. This one does not have that. Both are great units. They just have a slight difference there. If you end up in a pinch with some of your primary instruments maybe going out, this is a great tool to have, and it gives you terrain and traffic and all the other neat things about synthetic vision that you like. And you can easily turn the synthetic vision off to get the old school look.
Traffic, 1 o'clock, 5 miles northbound. Possible guard helicopter altitude indicates 3,200.
So when Jamie's here, Jamie gets her own GPS with traffic and weather and all that stuff so she can play with on her own. Right now, since she's not here, I do track up on both of these because she's not here. She likes north up on this one. I do north up on the multifunction display, and then I clear out a bunch of the, pretty much declutter it just so you can kind of see where we're at, you know, as we're trucking all the way across the country here. And then if I need to see stuff, I can on there. So what I have here is just a 3 and 6 mile zoom. You zoom, you can pinch zoom with this, or you can just rotate. Right reduces, left makes it larger.
37 at Champaign Airport, 12 o'clock, 8 miles, 1 able, report in sight.
I had it dialed in so much because I was in the terminal environment with a lot more traffic. Out here, there's just really no traffic. You guys can see there would, any traffic that affects us that's not filtered out would be displayed, and it's not. And then I have this one set to 30 miles. We have COM 1 and COM 2 right here, or this is COM 1. We have frequency that's selected, and then the one in the backup on both. The really cool thing about these IFD units is they'll identify your frequency. Champagne clearance delivery, Champagne.
Contact Holman approach 125.45. Have a good day.
2545 1 Bravo Charlie. Thanks. You have a good one as well. And then you can see when I did the frequency, it's so cool because the one's implied, so all you gotta do is 2545 and boom, you're good to go. Holman approach, Twin Cessna 771, Bravo Charlie is with you, 7,500.
Or 771 Bravo Charlie, Holman approach, code altimeter 3019er.
3019, 1BC. Alrighty, altimeter's all over the place. Where are we at? Just, these things are fully configurable. I've talked about it before. We're still kind of seeing how exactly it is what we want to display and where. And I can't possibly teach you guys everything about this, but I'm just showing how we have it set up. Right here is our remote transponder. It's a full functioning ADS-B transponder from Avidyne. It's remote, so it's hidden away, but you can type in your code, ident, you know, all the different normal options that you would have. It's all right there. The ident's also got a key right there that you can do. I have the flight timer set up here, and then on this one over here I have the local time and Zulu time on the primary page. And then over here we got a traffic thumbnail. I don't really know why, because traffic shows up here. I just felt like it, I guess. Along the top I did ground speed, vertical speed required, and feet per minute. So we're doing 195 knots. We're doing just groovy. We got Well, about 20 knot tailwind, which is what we were hoping for when we came out. And then this is the next fix in your flight plan. It tells you the heading, distance, and time and route to it. That's what I have, which also happens to be the destination, and it tells you all that information there. Minimum safe altitude for your area, and then your current lat longs. That's what I have. I usually leave that off to the side though, especially when I have the stuff that I need up here. We haven't had a chance to set Jamie's up the way that she likes yet. It's really easy to do. And you can see what traffic looks like. This guy is 15 miles off our right wing, 100 feet below us. So you can see it popped up there, and you don't see it here because we're zoomed into 10 miles, so we can't see stuff there. You can adjust the weather overlays, so you could do continental weather radar, regional weather radar, winds aloft, METARs, mets, and that will all display on the map.
530, turn left when able, direct.
So I did METARs.
For the RNAV 1.
So everybody's you're gonna see all the little flags that show you severe, clear, IFR, VFR, all that stuff is shown from these flags. So the light blue is super VFR. That's more than 5 miles, more than 3,000 feet. That's the light blue flag. The green flags are marginal VFR, 3 to 5 or 1,000 to 3,000 feet ceiling. IFR is yellow, low IFR is red, and then Cat 1, you know, super low stuff is the magenta. So basically your VFRs are the blue and the green. So when you go back to the map, you can kind of see that, and that's what you're looking at right there. So we're good. All the way down to Falcon Field is all severe clear. You got the blues. We're riding the line right on the blue and green the whole way down. And if you look out the window, you can see we're riding the line of what would be severe VFR and what would be slightly lower VFR. You guys can see that. We'll show a lot more about the Avidyne units when how easy it is to put in flight plans, to make reroutes, to activate approaches, to visualize all those different things, how it shows your altitude on your approaches for your step down fixes and stuff. I mean, I could go on and on and on. You don't know what frequency you're supposed to be on. You touch frequency. It tells you the airport frequencies at Falcon Field. We hit en route. It knows where we're at. It says, well, we think the closest to you would be home and approach on 2545. That's who we're talking to. This thing is great, and it gives you so many other options, so you could always find somebody that you need. This AMX 240, we've already talked about that. You saw me make a phone call to Jamie on the ground. It Bluetooth, you guys have heard it play music, does everything. Sounds really clear. I'm really happy with that. And it all integrates with our STEC 3100, which is the world's most amazing autopilot. This thing, everywhere we go, we're just on rails. Everywhere we go, when it makes the turns inbound for the approaches, descends, captures, holds, turns. Fabulous, fabulous autopilot. Absolutely love it. And you guys have seen that we got the radar displayed now. So just kind of for my own knowing, how good is this view? I'm hoping the camera is stabilized enough that it's not looking really wavy, because I've had some issues with that before, but I got some rubber foam to kind of stabilize the clip in hopes that we can avoid that. So we talked about the VSR function and why isn't the VSR being updated up there? Well, it's because I don't have anything in. If you come back to the flight plan, you can see where you could input the arrival, the approach. You can see all the information that you could put in here. Well, the very bottom line is telling you cross before FFC at. So what you need to do is you just touch it. And then, so we'll say 5 miles before. And it will auto-populate the pattern altitude, 1,800 feet. So if you just want to leave that, then you're good to go. You don't have to worry about anything else, and it will save all that in there for you. So we're 5 miles before at 1808 pattern altitude. It's gonna give us cues on when to descend. Now we're 400 miles away, so there's a 0 foot per minute rate of descent required at this point. Alrighty, enough testing out. the new mount. Not going to be doing anything interesting for a while. The view out the window, talking to Evansville approach. You can see the sun peeking through that higher scattered layer. It's looking pretty. Still trucking along right along this line of severe clear off to the right.
41, turn right heading 190 and this is low flies are tracking inbound.
Gloomy, cloudy on the surface off to the left.
190 to intercept and field inside Envoy.
Nice and smooth up here.
Envoy 41, clear visual approach, runway 22, contact tower 118.
I think I've discussed this before, but
runway 22, went to the tower.
on the aux page, under utilities, there's calculators. And it's got your altitude, calibrated airspeed, your heading, it knows all this information. The outside air temperature, the barometer, you can verify all that's correct. Right now our true airspeed,
Twin Cessna 7,500.
well, we're about to get traffic, it's 182 knots.
Twin Cessna 1 Bravo Charlie, traffic 12 o'clock and 8 miles northbound Mooney, 8,000.
1 Bravo Charlie is searching for traffic. So you can see we have all this information. It'll be very interesting to see with new paint, vortex generators, if that 180, we always say between 175 and 182 knots true airspeed. Just depends. All right, let's get a look for this traffic.
640, say request.
Oh, he's still 12 o'clock, 10 miles away. So we'll see if we can get him in sight. See, we're doing 200 knots.
Expect that.
So he's probably doing at least 150 knots.
Evansville approach, Fairmont 275, remove picture.
He's gonna come up fast, guys. He's like dead on us, 500 feet above us. You're gonna see how tough it is to spot somebody.
Stock 976, VFR sent your discretion.
Because when you're coming right at each other, we have a safe margin. But when you're coming at each other, there's very little movement across the windscreen, so it makes it tough to see. So he's 12 o'clock and 3 miles.
Traffic, 12 o'clock, high 2 miles.
Terminal 275, Romeo Victor, squawk 0373.
0373, 275, Romeo.
There he comes. 1 Bravo Charlie has traffic.
1 Bravo Charlie, Roger. E35, November traffic has you in sight.
We were wired. That was so freaking cool. And you guys got to hear the traffic alert.
Approach Tier 12, 900,000 down
That was pretty cool.
Approach number 3018, expected visual approach runway 18. Maintain.
So historically speaking,
at 3,000 and flying 050 vector.
We've always needed the old transponder that we had, the 345. That relied, for us to get traffic off of that, it relied on the other aircraft to be properly equipped.
0.5, heading 310.
Or to be within a certain distance of different types of air traffic facilities.
Cessna 20399, Evansville departure, radar.
Well, with our new Skytrack 605 Alpha,
VFR outer below.
we have antennas on this airplane now that actively ping other airplanes. So that situation, even if he wasn't ADS-B equipped, we would have still got the same traffic alert and all the same information, which we're loving. 2 thumbs up for that. It's been working great. Now that we got coming out the ears, a little better. So before we got the traffic, I was showing you guys that, yeah, that's on the aux page under utilities. You can see what your true airspeed, the winds aloft, you can see all that stuff. So I've been kind of looking at that lately. I'll keep in mind, the current conditions, altimeter settings, pressure altitudes or indicated altitude, and the temperature at this altitude. Kind of see what new paint and vortex generators do, if anything at all, to our true airspeed. Because this is about 65% for us here at 7,500 according to the book numbers, showing us right around 181, 182 knots true airspeed. Can't complain. The 310 goes plenty fast enough for me.